Greetings, Dave Dickinson here from astroguys.com, and I thought this week I would do this week's Friday Periscope a little bit early because I don't know if I'm going to make the weekly Space Hangout tomorrow. And one thing that's been on my mind mostly, I've been kind of on the hook to write about gravitational waves, and I'm going to try hard not to say gravity waves like so many people have already said this week, and so many people will repeat. One famous science celebrity, I won't name who, but his initials are NDT. Actually said gravity waves through most of his podcasts, and had it not been for the fact that he's usually a stickler for details, I probably would let that slide. I've said gravity waves myself before. Gravity waves, incidentally, are an atmospheric phenomena, and they've been well known and discovered. And oh, cool, we got somebody watching! Yay! We'll see if we can get into double digits today here for video watchers. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about gravitational waves, rumors of gravitational waves, quick rundown on what's been going on this week. This may be the discovery of 2016, but it has not been officially announced. Certain physicists tweeted to the fact that LIGO, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, has already seen gravitational waves. Now, they just started their run with advanced LIGO. I've written about this on Sky and Telescope late last year. They've started their run with advanced LIGO. The two interferometers are two L-shaped interferometers, one based in Hanford, Washington, and one based in Livingston, Louisiana. Oh, we're getting more viewers. Cool. We're talking about gravitational waves here today. These two observatories are watching for ripples in space-time that are passing through the Earth as a result of distant pulsar or black hole mergers, something that is predicted by relativity by Einstein about a century ago, that these things should exist. And incidentally, another misnomer you're going to get if this discovery comes to pass, it's not really a discovery. We've known that gravitational waves exist. There is indirect evidence for them. Now, I know it's not as sexy a news article to write to say direct evidence found for gravitational waves rather than just to say gravitational waves discovered. But actually, gravitational waves, Holson-Taylor found a pair of pulsars that the timing was off in these two pulsars orbiting each other. And the best way to describe why that was going on is the fact that they were emitting copious amounts of gravitational waves. Think a little bit about how relativity also affects the orbit of Mercury, which is another famous effect. Oh, okay, we got another viewer there. Talking about gravitational waves and what's going on in news and science this week. It's one thing. The rumor is going around, I don't know how many times, Lawrence Krauss can actually cry wolf on this one and people will stop listening because, okay, oh cool, oh wow, we got, our follower count went up and we look like we're getting spammed. That's okay. If anyone has anything to say about gravitational waves, that would be kind of cool. But anyway, enjoying the count number going up, that's kind of cool, so thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know how many times Lawrence Krauss will be able to actually cry wolf on gravitational waves. And, it was two tweets. One that said that LIGO, he had pretty good rumor that LIGO had seen gravitational waves, and he doesn't think it's what's called, they put blind injections into the system periodically for gravitational waves. They put blind injections in there just to test the system. LIGO has never seen them yet. He seems to allude in one of his tweets that it's not a blind injection. But again, it was also pointed out, I believe it was in a Washington Post article, how would he know unless he's on that very small elite team that puts those in there? Yeah, I know, no spam. That's okay. That's okay. We're rolling with it. So what do you guys think about gravitational waves? Have they been detected this year? I've been to both detectors, the one at Hanford and one at LIGO Livingston. They're very interesting to see. They do open and have public open houses. I know the case of the LIGO Livingston one, they had it once a month. And we got to go in the detectors when they were setting up for advanced LIGO. That was kind of nifty to see too. But yeah, it's my thoughts that they most likely are probably waiting till they get through this first run before they make an announcement. I don't know how long this run is with the data, if it's going to be 4 months or 6 months, but I get a feeling that we're not going to see an announcement. It's been 4 or 5 days now since this has gone out. Yeah, we're getting overloaded with a lot of spam here. So if I'm missing your question because we're getting so many things about nonsensical, not gravity waves scrolling by right now. Incidentally, this will go up on YouTube, and you can watch it sans all the ads that are going by right now. So if anyone knows how to block those, that would be kind of neat. So if I'm missing your questions on anything legitimate, I do apologize because, all right, it seems to be dialing down a little bit now. Anyway, also this week, we've been following comet US-10 Catalina in the morning sky. I haven't had a good chance to go out and take a look at it right now. Yeah, wow, I guess Periscope spam is the thing right now. This is new. This is the first time I've seen this much spam come through, which again, like I said, it's a mixed blessing because my follower count has gone up to triple digits, which is the first time I've ever seen that. However, we're missing a lot of comments coming through as a result. Somebody's saying it's support. Somebody else is no spam. I'm up with that too. Not spam. Okay. Gravitational waves. Anybody? Real? Not real? Anybody got anything to... all right. Yeah, there's more spam coming through. Interesting. Also this week, Sky Telescope, I wrote about they found the last booster impact site for the Apollo 16 booster, the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. I have an article up there. It's kind of interesting. They've been looking for these booster impact sites. This was the last one of 5 impacts on the moon. So that was kind of let the data speak on gravitational waves. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we know they exist. It's not a matter of if they're out there. Actually, we know, like I said, that gravitational waves have been discovered and that they exist. This will be kind of cool. Incidentally, if LIGO gets going finally, it's been running for over a decade now, and if advanced LIGO does its thing and finds gravitational waves, that's going to open up the entire... We're going to have a window onto the universe that isn't on the electromagnetic spectrum. It's not visual, it's not UV, not gamma ray, anything else. So that's going to be kind of interesting. Oh, my battery's at 5%. I'm probably going to have to wrap up here in a minute or two with this discussion. But I usually try to run about 10 minutes on these or so. I think we can probably squeeze that much more out of my phone here. If I die, that's why. It's because the battery in my phone went. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see the announcement this week. It's been going back to the topic of gravitational waves. It's going on to the first mention of that was back in, I'll try not to go. I think I can squeeze out a few more minutes here on this discussion. E and M neutrino grav waves. Interesting. Makes 3. Yeah. It's not a neutrino detector. I know that from going up to LIGO in Livingston and the one in Hanford, but yeah, it's there are neutrino detectors out there. Incidentally, thinking of neutrinos and solar neutrinos and neutrinos during supernova eruptions. See, once we get advanced LIGO up there and running, it will be able to. A lot of supernova eruptions should generate gravitational waves as well. So LIGO can back up a lot of those observations. I think once it gets up there and starts doing some really robust science, i.e. when they start seeing the neutrinos from Antarctica and those detectors there, they'll start seeing gravitational waves. The supernova we had at the beginning of last year, it was the M81, I believe. Yeah, I may have to block a few people here coming up. I do know how to do that. So, but anyway, the neutrino detector down in Antarctica, like Ice Cube, not the rapper, but the neutrino detector down there, actually saw some of the emissions from the M81 supernova from early last year. Welcome to Paris. Yeah, again, still getting a little off topic. Yeah, it is. It can be fun to block people sometimes. So anyway, I don't think we're going to see the detection of gravitational waves this week. They seem to be staying a little quiet about it right now. I think it was a little premature for certain physicists to go out there and say that. as far as, and you're going to see the same. I've already seen people trying to connect, and I tried to do this writing a science article before too, trying to connect the detections from BICEP that were hotly contested about the inflationary theory of the universe with Big Bang. And yeah, okay, there's one person to block. All right, and yeah, for those trying to detect to connect it up with inflationary theory and cosmology and things like that. So LIGO detects at a different harmonic frequency for gravitational waves than what BICEP is looking at. So it's really, I tried to do that with researchers too when I was talking to them. So I was like, how does this tie into the BICEP detections for inflationary theory and things like that? Oh, thanks. I see a few other people are garnering. Thanks for helping out blocking more people out there. Yeah, so it seems like we're getting where our numbers are going down. It was interesting. I'd never seen a lot of spam followers before on Periscope, so that was the first thing. So I guess I'll have some more people to block maybe in my follow stream after this. But if you want to talk about gravitational waves or astronomy or anything like that, the weekly space hangout is going to be tomorrow. I don't know who the guest is. I might try to join in going mobile tomorrow. If I'm stationary at that time, I may try to actually do the hangout on the phone. If not, I may skip a week. I'm allowed, so that's okay too. Again, I'm going to have an article up on Astro Guys also that's going to kind of continue this rant as far as the detection of gravitational waves, what to watch out for in science writing, because I know all the pitfalls. I know it mostly because I've fallen into them before. I've mistakenly called them gravity waves. I mistakenly tried to tie them into the BICEP detections. I've fallen down most of those rabbit holes before writing about it. I've mistakenly tried to say LIGO has discovered gravitational waves, and it hasn't, because those kind of detections have been done before. So it's going to be interesting to see. I may write this up for Universe Today. Incidentally, there is a very good article today. I kind of skimmed it in Sky and Telescope on the rumors of gravitational waves and where is a good place to learn about G waves. Gravitational waves, there's a pretty good article up on top of Sky and Telescope's website right now on gravitational waves. The wiki on it is pretty solid. For LIGO, I have a few articles. There's one further back I wrote. If you search under David Dickinson, it's probably not on the top anymore, on advanced LIGO on Sky and Telescope as well. Cool. We got a few more people are joining. Looks like the spammers have left us here. So I can tell because we went back down to double-digit numbers again, but that's okay. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for watching. We actually got a little bit of legitimate discussion in there. We kind of got thrown off. At first, I was looking at my numbers, and I'm like, wow, I've never seen my numbers shoot up over 100. And then suddenly I'm like, I can't see the screen anymore because there's so much spam flying by. So that's kind of we'll be archiving this discussion up on YouTube, sans spam, of course, except for any mention that I make of it pretty soon here. So unless I'll give the 1 minute warning now, unless anyone has any more questions about gravitational waves or astronomy or space or anything like that, I'll give the 1 minute warning out now, mostly because my phone's probably going to die. I'm probably at like 2% right now if it was 5% a few minutes ago. A few more people joining in, cool. Talking about space, astronomy, gravitational waves, comets, anything else that floats through our transom here. Also, we're having an occultation of the bright star Aldebaran for North America next week. That is what have you watched Catalina? Yes. Comet Catalina, I saw it for the first time yesterday morning. It is right near the handle of the Big Dipper tomorrow. If you have binoculars and you have clear skies, it's going to be very near the 1.2 magnitude star Alkaid. I just remember tweeting that out this morning. So it's going to serve as a very good guidepost. Just look right near the star at the very end of the handle of the Big Dipper asterism, and you should be able to see comets about 5th magnitude. Looks like a little fuzzy blob right now in binoculars. So that's about it. So this week I'll be signing off. You may see me on the weekly Space Hangout tomorrow, or I may be doing this next week. So everybody, word out.